Guys, I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be finishing this mani that I've already started right here. If you missed my Born Pretty store water decal review, that is what I did to get this look on both of my ring fingers here. I will link that video down below so you guys can go check that out if you like. The decal that I used is C275, and I got this from bornprettystore.com. I will link this down below as well. It's absolutely beautiful with all these sunflowers, as you can see here. And I just put that on each one of my ring fingers. And the base on all of my nails is French White Cream from Wet n Wild. So today, to finish this mani, I'm going to be stamping, and as you guys probably saw in the title, I'm going to be doing some Sharpie markers, like coloring in and stuff. Someone had asked me a few weeks ago if I could do a Sharpie mani for her, and I told her I would definitely put that on the list of things to do. But with the Beautiful Nail Challenge and stuff, I haven't really had time to do it yet, so I made sure that I would do it now, so that way I could get that done for her. There's a few different ways you can do the Sharpie marker manis. You can make alcohol inks out of them. You can color them on the nail and then use rubbing alcohol and kind of blot it, and it'll just kind of make like a tie-dye kind of effect. Or you can do it the way I'm going to do it. So let's get started, and I will demonstrate what I mean later. So for stamping, I'm going to be using a plate from Bundle Monster. It's BMS 208, and this is part of their fall/Halloween set, and I'm going to be using this area up here, and I might even use this little bumblebee if I can fit it in somewhere, okay? I'm going to be using Born Pretty Store stamping polish in black. It's number 3. I'm also using my Born Pretty Store Jumbo Stamper and Born Pretty Store Scraper. So I've heard a lot of people are having problems with their Jumbo Stamper from Born Pretty Store, and the trick and the secret to this stamper is acetone. Now, I know rule of thumb is you never put acetone on your stamper heads, but this one in particular really does not work very well without it. I primed mine with the acetone, like I do almost all of my stampers, and it worked great, but then after a while it quit stamping as well, and I wiped it down with some acetone again, and it worked. So basically what I do is, periodically, maybe in the beginning right before I use it, or every other time I use it, I'll just take some acetone on a paper towel just like this. Just get a little bit on there and just swipe it off, give it a couple wipes, and it picks up beautifully all over again. So don't be scared to put the acetone on your stampers, okay? It works great for this, and if you're having a problem, try that and see if it'll work, because I've noticed that seems to be the trick for me. So let's get started here. I'm going to turn my plate upside down just to make it a little easier for me to scrape it. There's that absolutely gorgeous image, and I'm going to put this on my pointer finger. Let's do it right about there, I think. Beautiful. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I do have liquid latex around all of my cuticles just for easy cleanup. I put mine in a polish bottle here, and I use liquid latex fashions from Amazon. So I'm basically just going to use that same image on all of my fingers. I'm going to switch it up a little bit to where it's not, I'm just going to rotate it a little bit to where it's not exactly the same. Here, I will show you what I mean here. Let me see if I can grab this little bumblebee and maybe get him on my thumb somewhere. I might have to grab him separate, I don't know. There's the image. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to grab him separately. So let's put, here, let me do that again, actually. Because I like the bumblebee. I want him on there, but I think I have to do him by himself. So I'm going to grab the flowers alone, stamp them, and then put the bumblebee on separate. There's my image. And I'm going to put this right here on my thumb. Kind of off kilter a little bit, just to make sure I have room for my bumblebee. Pop my stamper head out. So there's the image. Here's the image right there. That's how it looks. And I'm going to try to get the bumblebee right there. So let's see if we can grab him real quick. Try to get some of his little swirls with him. Oh, sorry guys, I bumped the camera. So there's my cute little bumblebee. Let's remove that and get rid of this little yucky patch there. Alright, and I'm going to try to put him right about there. So there's my little bumblebee, and he's flying over the little sunflowers. Super duper cute. I love him. So let me go ahead and finish stamping this image on all the rest of my nails, and I'll meet you guys back for the Sharpie marker part. Okay guys, I have finished stamping on both of my hands, as you can see here, and took off the liquid latex. And then after that, this next step is extremely important. It is crucial to this design. I put on a nice, good, quick dry top coat on all of my nails and gave it a few minutes to completely dry. It is absolutely important that you do this. If you do not do this, you will completely ruin your mani when you do this next step, okay? I want to apologize for all the background noise you're hearing before I continue on, but I've got 3 Sharpie markers here, and these are the Sharpie neons. I've got neon orange, neon green, and neon yellow to pull from the colors in the design here. And I've got a little bit of 91% isopropyl alcohol and just a little cup there. And here it is right here. This costs like $1 from Walmart. It's extremely inexpensive. So I do know you can get 100% alcohol or like 99% from eBay and stuff, but just regular drugstore alcohol works just fine. So I've got my Sharpie markers. I also have a couple pieces of a makeup sponge ripped up, and this is going to be how I apply the rubbing alcohol to my nails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my Sharpie markers, the first color I'm going to start with. I think I'm going to start with, let's start with the green. And I've got you guys zoomed in nice and close so you can see exactly what I'm doing. And everywhere where there's like little foliage, like leaves and stuff, like over here for example, I'm going to color in with the Sharpie marker. Okay, so I went in and shaded all of my nails with the green where I wanted it. And there's a couple nails that don't have any foliage that I wanted some in there, like my thumb for example. So I just colored in a couple little spots that I thought would look nice. So I'm going to dip my sponge into the alcohol here, and I'm going to drain a little bit off. I don't want it completely saturated. And I'm going to touch in over top of that green, and it's going to kind of dilute it a little bit and make it spread out. So it's going to give it like a watercolor look. It's going to look very watercolored when we're all finished. And you could do this with lead lighting as well, just with some, what are they called? Like some jelly polishes, but this is a very fun way to do it, and you have a little bit more control because you're using a marker. So after doing that, you need to give that a few seconds and let it dry. Make sure the alcohol is completely dry before you go in with the next color. And next I'm going to go in with my yellow. And I'm going to put the yellow in all of the leaves, all of the petals for the flowers. And there's going to be, the orange and the yellow are going to kind of mix together a little bit in the end. And this doesn't have to be perfect or precise because you're going to be blending it with the alcohol anyway. But I'm going to go ahead and put in my yellow everywhere I want it. There's my yellow. And let's touch a little bit into the centers too. I'm just going to do the same thing that I did with the green. Take my alcohol on my sponge here and touch it in everywhere where the yellow is. And it'll kind of blend it a little bit and lighten it up. Just kind of spread it out a touch. Do that on all the nails. And I haven't colored in any of my little characters yet. See, my snail isn't colored in, neither is my bumblebee. I'm going to do them at the end to where they're a little more bold. Alright, so as you can see, I have colored it in, and it's kind of makes it like blobby a little bit, like it kind of blobs the colors out. So again, you want to give that a second to dry. Alright, that's dry enough, and I've got my orange here, and I'm going to touch in everywhere where I want some orange. So mainly the centers of the flowers, and then maybe a little touch around the outside of the petals. Anywhere you want. And you can always go back in after you're done, you can go back in with the colors again and go over them again. And you can do that as many times as you want. There's really no way to mess this up because the rubbing alcohol, you can dilute the color so much with the rubbing alcohol that you can pretty much start over if you want to. And that's why it's so important to put that top coat on. Otherwise, that rubbing alcohol would take off most of your stamping. And as you can see, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just dotting it in here. And then after doing that, you're going to take a new sponge again. I use a new little piece of sponge for every color. If I can pick it up here. There we go. Because if you use the same one, see how this one's yellow? It'll put more yellow down. So take my sponge, touch it in the alcohol, drain off the excess, and go in and touch where the orange is. And see how it's diluting it, kind of mixing it with that yellow? And it kind of blends it together, makes it like watercolors. And the more you touch with the alcohol, the more it's going to take the color off. So like the more it's going to blend it. So there we go. And anywhere you're not happy with it, the color's not bright enough, or whatever the case may be, like I said before, you can go back in. So I'm going to go back in with some green because most of my green has diluted out at this point. Make sure they're dry. And I'm going to go in where I want my green and color some more of that in. Cool, huh? So let me go ahead and finish these up a little bit, and then I'll meet you guys back to show you how I color in my little characters. Okay, so I finished doing the rest of my nails, as you can see here, and I'm going to show you how I colored in my little characters on my snail right here. And for these, I'm not going to dilute it with the alcohol. I'm just going to color them in and leave it. So for my snail shell, I think I'm going to make it orange and green. So I'm just going to put different spots in green, just like this. Just kind of going around it and put the different spots, and then I'm going to make his little body green as well. And then I'm going to take my orange marker and color in the rest of his little shell orange. Just like this. And just leave him like that. As you can see, I did my little bumblebee there, did my watering can there, and did my other bumblebee here. So let me go ahead and clean up this little mess I got going on and top coat a bit, and I'll meet you guys back with the end result. Okay guys, so I have finished up my Sunflower Sharpie Mani, and this is the finished result. The colors definitely look a little brighter in person. They're coming off a little washed out on camera for some reason. I'm not sure why, but definitely check out my Instagram and go see the still picture there because it'll probably be a little bit better. And I do have a question for you guys if you can help me. For some reason, can you see how my skin, like on my pinky here and my middle finger here, it's like sloughing off of my fingers. Do you see? It's like drying off. It's like drying up really bad. I don't know why. I'm using tons of cuticle oil, tons of lotion, and it's still happening and it looks really ugly. So if you guys have any lotion or oils or any suggestions for me, please leave them down below in the comments section and try to help me out a little bit because it looks really gross and ugly, and it's happening on my left hand more than my right. I don't know why. I don't know if it's from the repeated use of the acetone from the constant exposure or what, but if you guys know anything, please let me know so I can fix it because it looks gross. But other than my yucky cuticles, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, and come back to see me next time. Bye.